Welcome to day 16 of the Daily Doodle December Challenge. Before we dive into our doodle for today, let's pause for 3 deep breaths together. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth with a big sigh. Arriving fully in this moment, right here, right now. Inhaling again through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Releasing any tension in the body with the out breath. Inhaling again through the nose. Complete exhale through the mouth. Releasing with the out breath that time. Any busy thoughts or worries. And let's get started on our doodle. So today we're doing circles again. Big circle. Smaller circle with a dot in the middle. And we'll do small, medium-ish. I don't know what to call these. Let's call these they're not really large. So let's call them medium-ish. And we'll be filling the space with circles of varying sizes. It's okay if the circles touch. It's okay if there's space between them. And then we'll be doing coloring in between these circles with our black pen or with a dark pencil crayon. So I am looking after my grandcat, Charlie, today. And she almost made a guest appearance in the video there, but she stopped short, I think, of coming into the frame, but you might have heard her jumping on and off the table. She does seem to instinctively know when I'm videoing and like to be featured. So what shall we call these shapes today? They remind me a bit of sliced olives. They might also be googly eyes. Maybe fish or frog eggs. So then you could do this with the black pen or a pencil crayon. And we're going to color in between. So if you use pencil crayon like we did over here, then you could choose any dark color that you like. It might be a little bit faster to color in with pencil crayon, so if you don't have a lot of time today, that might be a good choice. But I always ask myself, what's my rush? Sometimes, legit, the to-do list is long, and so I have to move a bit quickly to get even fun things like this done. But sometimes it's like a figment of my imagination or just a habit, a default mode to feel like speed and efficiency is where it's at. But when it comes to our art journal and our time for play, slowing down is a key part of what we're aiming to do. So you might have noticed there that my coloring got a bit wonky, and then I it gave me a bit of a wonky edge, so it just allowed me to smooth it out as I was coloring, which made the circle a little bit smaller. That's okay. When we finish today's doodle, we will be officially past the halfway point of the whole challenge. I don't know about you, but time does seem to be flying by. I just took another deep breath there and noticed. I did the deep breath because I noticed I was getting a little intense and some tension was creeping back in, so I've let it go. I would love to know in the comments if you're not keen to share a pic of what you're doing, which I totally understand. Maybe you just don't want to, or maybe it's just too much of a pain to figure out how to get photos from your phone uploaded and onto the YouTube community. But it's pretty easy to type in a comment, and I would love to know, what are your favorite supplies for doodling in the challenge? Are you experimenting with lots of different things, or have you got a particular type of material you're using every time, like pencil crayons or markers? Or maybe just the black pen for doodling. Or, as I know one person's doing, maybe you're not even doodling with black pen. Maybe you're doing the actual doodles with a different color. There's a lot of pet movement here today. So now you might be hearing Kitty Cat playing over in the corner with the plants. She's having a little chew. I have looked it up. They are cat-safe plants. And then you might have just heard Archie, my Velcro dog, having a big scratch right beside me. Okay, so now I'm going to add color with my rainbow shades that I've been using, adding color with the markers in a variety of brights. And as usual, if you stick around to the end, I will show you other samples that I've done with different color palettes and on different sizes. Here comes Kitty. What you doing, Charlie? You thought you wanted to be in Nana's video? Yeah. Oh, no. She had a sniff, but again, I don't think she came into the frame. I do have another YouTube video where she did get in the frame, and she sat her bum right on my page when I was working, and it was so cute. And now, because I've been talking in my slightly, I don't know what to call it, my pet talk voice, the dogs are both both wanting to get involved. Okay, so now my non-Velcro dog has come down, and she's here giving me a nudge. Now, thankfully, she's on my left side, and she's nudging my left arm because I'm right-handed. She has been known to nudge my right arm and make me scribble on occasion. So before I added the pink, I felt like this was starting to look quite Halloween-y. But now it's looking more rainbowish. Okay. Now I'm realizing that it had been my intent to actually color in some of these with silver. But now that I haven't done that, I'm going to come in with silver. Gotta get it, oh, there we go, get it going. And I'll add some doodle details on these bigger ones. So just truly playing and winging it as I go here. And I'll do one more on the dark purple because it shows up nicely there. And then maybe what I'll do is take the other silver that I have that is quite sheer and use it to add a bit of sparkle on top. Of these other ones. Maybe I'll just do them all. I'm really coming to quite like this sheer sparkle silver. It's called Clear Star. At least that's what it says on the pen. All right, and then I will go back in with the opaque silver one and add some dots in between of varying sizes. So I'll start with bigger dots in spaces where there's enough room. And then I'll go back in and make tinier ones. I do quite like dot painting, which is what this feels like. So when I put it down and I do a little wiggle, I get a small dot, but I can get it even smaller in super tiny spaces by just literally doing like a touch the pen to the page and lift. And I get really tiny ones. Oops. So I'll just fill in a few of the black spaces with those tiny, tiny ones. And there we go. Finished our day 16 doodle. Now it is time to color in our tracking page. I'm going to do that today with my salmon-y shade. They're looking gorgeous. Vibrant and satisfying. Now I will show you the other samples. Here is the green and gold. And then here is the blue and silver. So you'll notice because this one's on the week on a single page where we have the bigger space to work, I was able to do multi-ring rather than just a big circle with a dot inside. And I varied how many rings I did. So I started with the bigger ones, moved to smaller ones, and then you'll notice here that I kept going and filling in the space with letting some of these tuck in behind so that I didn't end up coloring the background at all with any black. Instead, if there were little tiny bits, and there were a few left open, I colored that in with the sheer silver so that it still shines through a bit white but is sparkly. Hopefully that inspires you to doodle today, and hope to see you back here tomorrow.